And in this week's episode, we're going to do a giant low-fat chicken samosa. And here are the ingredients. And today's ingredients are going to be our cooking base, some olive oil. I don't use a lot, as you know, this is low fat. To it, we're going to add our cumin seeds, of course, and then there's garlic, ginger, chopped tomatoes, chopped chilies, chopped coriander, some minced chicken, and chopped onions, some green peas. Now here are the interesting dry ingredients. This is called keema masala, which is minced masala. You can get that in packets. But we're also adding to it some turmeric powder, coriander powder, cumin powder, and garam masala. That in all is going to make our very exciting wrap. Enjoy. Let me start with showing you how to do this whole thing now. It's not as complicated as it sounds. I know the ingredients look like a lot, but it's really not. Let's get going. First, we heat our pan. And I actually love this hex pan thing. It's very good. Now, to my pan, I'm going to add 1 and 2 spoons of olive oil. And to that, I'm going to add half a tablespoon of cumin seeds. Now we're going to wait for that to splitter and splutter. Yeah, there you go, splitter, splutter. Yep, almost there. Now, again, a tablespoon of crushed garlic. I might add a wee bit more. And a tablespoon of crushed ginger. I'm making it as easy as possible. Half a tablespoon of chili. Now this is also depends on your taste buds. And some chopped coriander. There you go. Now to this wonderful thing, I will add a cup of chopped tomatoes. And put that down. There you go. Now I want that to cook through. Now we go on to the dry ingredients, but before that, I'm going to add some onion. I don't want it to get too soft. So here we go, 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of chopped onions. And let that soften a bit. Now we're going to add in our dry ingredients. Okay. So to this, we're going to add, first let's start with salt, because I always decide later if I need to add some more salt. Now here I've got a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of coriander, half a tablespoon of garam masala, and half a tablespoon of turmeric. Now we just throw that in for good measure. Now I got this Shan keema masala. You get it off the shelves in all the supermarkets. I like it, but you can take it or leave it. It does not matter, okay? Now I'm going to add half a tablespoon of Shan masala to this. Now if you like it more tomatoey, which I do, you can add more in, but make sure you dry it up if you do. Let's change spoons here. There you go. Yeah. Now I'm drying this up nicely. It's also helping to get the raw taste out of the garlic, the ginger, onion, tomato, and all the spices. Now I have here some minced chicken. And I kind of minced it down really fine. But you can, I mean, it doesn't have to be as smooth as this. Now I'm going to add a cup and a half. Trust me, that's a cup and a half. I'm good. Right? Of my chicken. And let that cook. Now this is 5% lean. I think there's so much hidden fat and sugar in everything in the world that you've got to try and keep it a little bit in check when you're cooking at home, because we don't always eat at home. You can grab a sandwich, you can grab anything outside, and all you'll end up doing is finding that you have way too much additives into your system. You can't go mad and never eat and never do this and never do that. But having said that, it's best to keep things in minimal. Mind you, yesterday I was talking to my yoga teacher. 2 hours of yoga, really? But it was wonderful. I love my yoga teacher. She's amazing. And I told her, she said, well, you know, you run a lot, so your lower body is very strong, but maybe we need to work on your upper body. I said, I want a body like yours. So she said, oh dear, you're going to have to starve. You're going to have to exercise 25 times a day. You've got to do 4 classes of yoga. You're going to have to do this, and eat low-fat food, drink good juices and this and that and the other. And I said, okay, I'd rather be like this. Never going to happen. I can only do things in moderation. Seriously, I cannot do that much. But I do run a lot. Now, while we're talking about this low-fat stuff, I'm going to add some green peas into this. Right. When we're talking about low-fat, I'd like to also add, it's not just about a low-fat diet. Now, my husband's a tennis player. I'm an ex-tennis player, but I'm a runner. I love my exercise a lot. And I have to say, healthy lifestyles divided into a few things. The first is 1/3 of your life is spent in bed. So get a good mattress. That's number one. Get a good night's sleep. I've only learned to discipline myself of late. Cut out bad additives into your diet. I've cut out alcohol in my diet. Don't put in something into your body that you'd rather not. No one says you can't do anything at all, but moderation. Everything is moderation. Diet, and then of course, please take time out for your exercise. You don't have to do 2 hours a day and exercise. You don't even have to do 45 minutes, a good brisk walk, whatever. If you can help it, don't take the car out if you have to go 5 minutes away. All these little things add up to a healthy lifestyle. And I used to ask my grandfather how he could eat so much and he was so thin. He said, well, I eat the right things. I only eat 2 meals a day. I walk 3 kilometers each way to the university where I teach all day. Then I walk 3 kilometers to the foot of the mountain, climb 2,000 steps to the temple, come back and come home. And he said, I don't see the inside of a car. I don't see the inside of an auto rickshaw. I don't see the inside of a bus. I walk. So that was his way, and he lived a very ripe old age and was very fit. And the good side of all this is I did learn a few things from this. And another thing is music. If you like meditation, that's good for you. All these nice things. I'm learning. It may be late in life, but I am learning, and I love it. I like the new me. I like the new things I'm doing. And I don't like the fact that this chicken is taking so long to cook. But it's getting there. I also did, as a matter of interest, I did make a vegetarian option, which I will show you in a minute. So what I did is I used mixed vegetables and I made it into a sort of roll. I used carrots, the same base, but I put carrots, peas, sweet corn, beans. You can add potato, you can add whatever you want. And I made it into a squishy little roll because it's easier for Pedro to eat. So, you can't give him things that he has to try and master. It's a bit difficult. He has to communicate with food to his mouth. Big problem. So we try and make it easy, finger foods. All 8 fingers, 2 thumbs have to go in there. So, but he's getting there. He's getting there. Actually, my little doggy Rosie's been teaching him how to handle hands. I think I'm going to be losing my job soon. Look at that now. Come on, is that good or what? Do you know what I do with all the leftovers? I eat bread, toasted bread with butter, and I bung all this on top. Not butter, to be fair, but I do use toasted crusts and eat it on top. And that's my lunch usually. I like all these things. Like I said, you don't have to go crazy. Got to enjoy it. Now, if you think that huge giant samosas go to so many, this is going to make at least a couple for sure. You know, you've taken 2 tablespoons of olive oil and you've got lean chicken in there. So you've got a lot of protein. There's not a lot of stuff otherwise in there. So you're enjoying it. Now, the breads, by the way, this just occurred to me. There is a very interesting bread going around, the protein wraps, and they taste so good. If you're, like the young guys of today, like this whole household is into their protein, that works just as well as using the Arabic bread. I do like Arabic bread though, so. And it's quite lean. Now here we go. This is done now, because as you can see, I've been talking my head off and mashing away at this, and this is also going to go into an air fryer. So now here we have my little baby. Now I have to wait for this to cool, so I'm going to have to wait for this to cool. There. Because it makes all the bread soggy, and that's not very nice. So I've got this Arabic bread, which I think is really good fun. It's got bits of all sorts of gooey in it, which is also nice. And there you go. That's nice. I'm going to cut some bits off because I don't like odd shapes. The only odd shape I like is Pedro, but I'm used to him, so that's all right. Pedros come in all shapes and sizes. They're Portuguese. I really am going to lose my job now. Okay, so here we go. This isn't quite cooled down yet, but then, we all have a life to lead, so tough. I've just realized that, I had 8 dogs at one time. I've got 5 now. And I've just realized that Rosie is more popular than I am. I'm quite upset about it. Because every time she goes on a post of mine, I get more hits. I mean, what's that about? She doesn't even know how to talk. And I can talk for England and India and Portugal, for Pedro's sake. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to funk this up a bit because I have no idea what to do with it. So, no, I'm joking. So there and there. You can use a toothpick and stuff, but I just make these odd shapes because, oh, look, it looks like a kite. Today we're making a giant kite. It was a giant samosa, but we're going with giant kite now. Now, I'm going to tie this up. Not tie it up, I'm just going to fold it up and throw it into my air fryer. You can brush it with a little olive oil if you want, but I'll do that when it comes out. So this happy bunny is going into my air fryer. Okay, so here I am, fingers crossed, and here is my giant kite diamond samosa, full of all the goodies in life. Now, if you want it to look really nice, you can cheat a bit and brush it with a little oil. It does make it taste better, to be fair, without going crazy on it. There you go. Now, I'm going to slide this off my amazing thing that we don't look at, and that which we don't look at either, till I'm ready to clean up. Now, here we are. Now, what I thought I'd serve it with is I've made a little tamarind chutney. Now, this is tamarind and dates. I soak the tamarind and I soak the dates in warm water, churn it up with a little salt. Now, you can put a little chili powder in this, but I made green chutney as well. And that's a bit spicy with coconut. So that's there. Now I thought I'd show you a little thing that I do whenever I'm serving anything fun. So this is mint and coriander. This is my gizmo because I'm a gizmo person. So all you people out there who make gizmos, me. Okay. So now, gizmo person takes out her mint and coriander. And to this, I'm going to add some salt. And some chili powder. I'm making this up, by the way, as I'm going along, okay? Just so you know. And yogurt. Now here again, I've got a low-fat natural yogurt going on here. There you go. Now. There you go. And I thought I'd serve that on the side. I think it's going to taste good. If it doesn't, you know, just don't eat it. So now here we have our doodah. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. There you go. Now look, you made me dirty my plate up just so I could show you. So there you go. Like all proper chefs do, we just chuck it on the floor and you have a giant chicken samosa. And it's baked in an air fryer, actually. And that's technically wrong, isn't it? It's air fried in an air fryer. And it's served with 3 interesting chutneys, all made by moi. And there's also the veggie option that I made, which doesn't look as nice, but to be fair, it is very nice because of the interesting things in there. And I've put, like I said, all different veggies. And you can add paneer to it if you want. You can even do, get adventurous, you know. But don't ask me, you get adventurous. My job's just to show you how to do it. And on that note, I shall see you next week. And Pedro just wants to eat all this food. And now Paul's walked in case you're wondering who Paul is, everyone wonders. So here we go. Paul, would you like to come and have a look in here? Paul has just come in from walking the dog. So in case he looks a bit strange, Paul is a dentist, by the way. He's retired.
It looks wonderful.
Are you going to try some?
No, I won't disturb
You're not supposed to say that on the show.
I will try it later.
Thank you,
Good.
Paul.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay, so it's Pedro's after all. Yeah. Good. Now I have to leave because I've suddenly been told, Paul has to use the bins. I've suddenly been, as you can see, this is a working farm. So things happen all the time. And I have to say bye-bye till next time. And next time I'll give you a preview next time of what of what I'm going to do next time. Bye.